To say all these impossible c'est pas camerounais, let's be guided with that particular statement, because the fact that impossible c'est pas camerounais can work in a particular context doesn't mean it can work in another context. If you go putting information that is somewhat true but not entirely true, and you get discovered during your background check, your application is going to be eliminated automatically, and that's how you will lose your chance. So let's be careful. Make sure that every information you're putting there is true and verifiable, because IREX does. Hello guys, and welcome to another episode with Deeply Merited Scholars, your number one plug for everything scholarship applications, visa application guidance, travel consultancy, and studying abroad. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be touching on successful tips to apply for the Mandela Washington Scholarship. So if this is your first time coming across this channel, please subscribe, like this video, turn on your notification bell so that you will be the first one to know anytime we upload a new video. Without further ado, let's delve into the matter of the day. The Mandela Washington Fellowship. I'm not here to bore you with the details because you can read this online. Just Google search Mandela Washington Fellowship and it's going to take you to your website and you can read thorough information. But this is what I have to tell you. What is the Mandela Washington Fellowship Program? This is a flagship program of the YALI Network, organized by the U.S. Department of State. You should know that the YALI Network is a young African leaders initiative, which is all about growing, potential leaders from African countries. The Mandela Washington Fellowship accepts young individuals to go to the United States for a 6 weeks exchange program where you get to grow your skills and expertise on the 3 themes, which are business, civic engagement, and public administration. So definitely you see that there's room for people of varied interest. You may be under the business field, you have strong civic engagement, and you have studied public management or public administration, or you are in the public service. You are very much eligible for this program, so do not dull on it. This is something you should consider applying. Maybe not this year because the time frame is short, but you can prepare well ahead for next year's application. There are several benefits once you get selected for the Mandela Washington Fellowship Program. One of such benefits is the cost. You get to travel to the United States free of cost. It's going to be a dream come true for a lot of people, because we all know that first and foremost, getting a US visa is difficult. It's difficult. But now getting to go to the United States, she rubbed minds with, leaders from the African continent and US experts. Oh, come on. You don't have to pay for it. It is funded by the US government and administered by IREX. The other benefit is you get to participate in a summit with young African leaders and other experts in the United States. There are a lot more benefits of this particular program, so I encourage you to go to the Mandela Washington Fellowship website and you can read a whole lot more. So now let me talk about the timeline. The Mandela Washington Scholarship was officially opened on August 16, 2022, and the deadline is September 13, 2022. So you have barely a week and few more days to go if you intend to apply for this particular session. Looking at the eligibility requirements, of course, the age is of prime importance. You should not be above 35 years of age as per the time you will be applying for this program. Just in case you are 35 years old when you apply and the results will be out when you will be 36 years, I recommend that you visit the Mandela Washington Fellowship Program website, where you're going to see responses to frequently asked questions. There you can be sure that as per the time you apply all the way to when the results are released, you are eligible to apply for this set program. The next eligibility requirement is accepted for a J1 visa. What this means is you should not have a ban to go to the United States as per the time you're applying for this program, or you should not be a deportee, more to say, okay? So you should be eligible to apply for the J1 United States visa. Of course, you should not be a United States citizen or permanent resident upon the time of applying for this particular program. Neither should you be a family member of any employee, of any US state employee, be it at the local embassy, USAID, or other US government positions. Language proficiency is another eligibility requirement for this program. You should have proof of language proficiency, especially if English is not your first language. So you should consider having a language proficiency test, which is the IELTS or the TOEFL, or you should have a document from your school, from your school or faculty that proves that you have done your studies in English language. you have to be a resident of an eligible country. This program is open to a good number of countries, okay, and Cameroon is just one of them. So you should be resident in an eligible country as per the time you're applying for this program. Last but not least, you should not be an alumni of this program. There are other fellowship programs, like for example, there's one I have attended, that's the NASPA Baton Simulation Contest. There is no restriction whether you have been a participant before. Once you reapply and get selected, you can always participate in the session that is available. The only restrictions they have there is you should actually be a student of the particular program that the NASPA Baton Simulation Contest represents. But with the Mandela Washington Fellowship program, you must not be an alumni while applying, which means that if you've participated once, it's enough. You're not going to get selected again if you reapply for this program. Now, moving on to the selection criteria, which is the heart of this video, I have this to say. The good thing with the Mandela Washington Fellowship program is they have stated what they want to see as far as your application is concerned. This already tells you how the vetting process goes. So failure to show proof of one or more documents as requested in their selection criteria, your application is not going to be successful. It may be successful, don't get me wrong, but with the volume of applications they get, it takes off the burden of selection when you submit incomplete applications. Okay, so it's a whole lot easier for them to filter out, people while they are doing the selections. So you should know that once you provide all the documents as stated in the selection criteria, you are above 50% sure of passing the first application. Mind you, IREX does background checks on all applicants who get selected. So just to say, all these impossible, c'est pas camerounais, let's be guided with that particular statement, because the fact that impossible, c'est pas camerounais can work in a particular context doesn't mean it can work in another context. If you go putting information that is somewhat true but not entirely true, and you get discovered during your background check, your application is going to be eliminated automatically, and that's how you lose your chance. So let's be careful. Make sure that every information you're putting there is true and verifiable, because IREX does background checks on all successful applicants. Now let's go to the main things on the selection criteria list. The first thing is you need to have a proven record of leadership and accomplishment in business, civic engagement, or public service. Now this is quite easy. I'm just going to give like specific examples or case studies. I'm going to take those in the business field. If you have a registered business, or if you are an entrepreneur and you are up to date with your taxes, definitely that is a proven record for you to apply for this program. A demonstrated commitment to public or community service, volunteerism, or mentorship. For this one, permit me talk a little bit in Cameroonian pidgin. You're supposed to be volunteer. Take volunteerism seriously, because a lot of people dull on it. During your free time, especially as a student, you gave less of a damn about volunteerism. Non-governmental organizations are calling for applicants all the time to come for volunteerism, and you are dulling on it. Take it seriously, especially organizations that give attestations of participation. Take it seriously, because this is going to help you a great deal with applications of this kind. You need proof of volunteerism or community service or activism. If you are advocating, for humanitarian rights, peace, justice, all of this, if you have proven record for it, this will help your application a great deal. The third thing, the ability to work cooperatively in diverse groups and to respect the opinion of others. How do you prove this? If you've taken part in seminars, workshops, trainings, and you have a proven record of this, you are eligible to apply for this program. Because once you state the seminar or the fellowship you attended or you participated in, and you give a description of the seminar or workshop, you realize that you were able to work in a team to accomplish, the goals of that particular seminar. If you have proven record of such, then you should apply. The next thing is you should show strong social and communication skills. I laugh because I asked a few people to confirm this particular selection criteria, and they were like, how do I prove this? And I'm like, there's a very easy way to prove this. Your social media profile. What do you use social media for? Like seriously, because I know some of us love to catch cruise on social media, but what do you use your social media profiles to do? Are you in any form of advocacy? Are you in any form of advocacy? Do you advocate for things through your social media profile? Do you run a blog? Do you have a YouTube channel, as a lot of people do? These are how you can show strong social and communication skills. For example, there are others, but this is the example I'm giving for this particular. Have an energetic and positive attitude. How do you prove this? An easy way to prove this is via your personal statement. You need to have a strong personal statement that reflects who you are, that reflects your attitude, that reflects your energy, that reflects your mood, your knowledge, and your aspirations. The next is you have to show a demonstrated knowledge of interest in and professional experience in the preferred sector or track you would want to study. Remember, we have business, civic engagement, and public management. So you have to show a demonstrated knowledge. How do you show a demonstrated knowledge? An example is via research. Upon the time you're applying, it is highly encouraged that you have an area of focus that you want to grow in. Because business field is vast, public service is vast, civic engagement is vast, but you should have areas of focus. It is through these areas of focus that you can gather research that will show you have demonstrated knowledge in what you intend to study. During this 6 weeks leadership program, the last but not the least is a commitment to return to Africa and apply your leadership skills in your country, skills and training to benefit your country or community. Now with this one, there are 2 outcomes to this. Your application may be shortlisted and you move to the second phase, which is the interview at your local embassy. Now, you might have met all the previous requirements, but you see this last requirement, if you don't have it and you succeed to pass through the first phase, be careful because you might get denied a visa if you do not have proof of this. Okay, those who have been to the American embassy before know how fast consular officers take to deny your visa. In fact, they use the speed of light to reject your visa application. So this is something you need to take seriously. And for you to show a commitment return to Africa, social ties is one. If you have social ties, but in this case, social ties is not good enough. You should have your business plan or an ongoing business or a business you intend to launch upon the completion of this training in the United States. Take note that the selection criteria already highlights the vetting process for this particular fellowship program. So once the application closes on the 13th of September, they're going to do their selection all the way to the semi-finalists. And semi-finalists should be expecting to be interviewed at the embassy between November 2022 to January 2023. And you should be expecting the results after your interview by March 2023. By May 2023, it's going to be visa processing and pre-orientation. Hey! And before you know it, in June, you're going to be in the United States of America at any of the leadership institutes pursuing your career goals. Isn't this wonderful? In case you didn't have an idea on how to furnish the selection criteria requirements, I hope this video helps you and guides you on how to go about applying for the Mandela Washington Fellowship program. If this helpful, please click the like button. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? We are sharing scholarship and travel opportunities abroad. So please subscribe. Please subscribe to this channel. Please turn on your notification bell so that you will be the first to know anytime we upload a new video. I'll very much appreciate any comments you have in the comment section, or if you have any questions, please contact us at deeplymeritedscholars@gmail.com. Remember, with Deeply Merited Scholars, we soar on eagle's wings. Bye.